y'all for coming out. Appreciate it. They got some signs and everything. Walking from Walmart across the Yaquina Bay Bridge today. God bless. Don't forget that you matter. We can recover. You matter! You matter, Kira!
I'm Kira Morgan here on the beautiful Newport Bayfront with some very special guests joining me for this interview. This is the Walk Across America for Me, Health Awareness and Recovery. And this is Kyndal. Kyndal, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Hi, everybody. My name is Coach Kyndal Ray Edwards, aka A Walking Testimony. I am walking America for mental health awareness and recovery and remembrance of people who have lost their lives to drug overdose and suicide, mental health and recovery issues, and for the ones that are still struggling. As somebody that in the last 15 years of my life, I have tried to take my life twice. I've overdosed numerous times, been in county jail, in prison way too much. I'm a firm believer that my past does not define me and that there's always hope, and we're out here walking about it.
So how did you hook up with Nicole here at Phoenix Wellness Center, who's amazing for our community?
So as I go through my journey in the counties and cities that I'm about to go through, I find groups and stuff on social media. I try to join the groups and share my posts, letting people know that I'm coming. So I shared the post. Somebody else had gotten in touch with me and mentioned her and gave me her number. And about the same time that she sends me a message, I'm literally calling from the other message. She was like, that was fast. And I'm like, oh, wait, I think she just sent me a message. And then we talked for a few minutes and tried to link something up for me getting out here. And then I was walking from Lincoln City, and they her, Wiley, and Jen stopped and saw me, and we got to talk, and just right from there I was like, sweet, this is gonna happen. They already stopped to see me, and then we just kept the communication going and planned it out, and now we're here in Newport.
Fantastic. Tell us, Kyndal, a little bit about your story. What made you decide to do this?
So I will go ahead and say that I was born and raised in the church. I didn't grow up in a bad household. Anybody that has, I'm so sorry that you have. I personally do not relate with that. All the things that I've done were all my own choices, and I decided and I enjoyed all the stuff that I was living while I did. But I grew up Jacksonville, Florida, born and raised. I'm 30 years old. Um, Growing up in the church, I was very sheltered. And then when my sister went off to college, I started my freshman year, and that's kind of like when the world hit me. I started getting some of my own freedom and just started running with it. My addiction problem started way before drugs. I used to have a problem with lying and stealing, and that was in the church with my family around the house. And I had a problem with that. And then whenever I learned what drugs were and got involved with that, it just kind of overtook, and to mix it all together, it just went down a really bad path. I tried to join a gang when I was younger, 3 days before being jumped in. I was actually supposed to go out with them and do one more thing. But I ended up going to church with my mom. I wasn't 18 yet. I went to church with my mom. Three of the main people went to prison for armed robbery of a liquor store. I was supposed to be their driver that night. It never happened. So I knew I was never supposed to actually be in a gang, but I love that lifestyle. My biggest addiction is adrenaline. That was over the drugs. I used to just take massive amounts of drugs just to see if I could get away with it. It wasn't even to take my life most of the time, and I've been to the point where I've had tried to take my life with the drugs, um, but I didn't have to. You know what I mean? I love the adrenaline. I love pushing myself to the limits. So now that I have this life change, I chase my adrenaline addiction with semis coming at me at 80 miles an hour on the side of the road. On this journey, I've got to go base jumping and skydiving, literally getting out of my comfort zone, pushing myself to the limits because of the things that I just fell in love with, living the wrong lifestyle. I don't really know why I fell in love with it, but I did. There was just something like, I have to go get that next fix. I want my heart to beat fast. And if it was kicking in a door, that was one of my biggest addictions over drugs. It was breaking into houses. Don't get me wrong. I did lots of drugs. I had my huge, bad, like junkie drug phase right out of high school. And when I turned it around, I still did lots of drugs, but I would still do stupid stuff, whether drugs were involved or not. I was breaking into houses, whether I was sober, high, for free, or to get something. It didn't matter. I just liked to do that. Now, like, people literally bless me to stay in their houses.
So, Kyndal, what message do you have for folks who are like you, who do like that rush, who do like that adrenaline, or Nicole, either one of you? But drugs aren't, they're obviously not drugs, alcohol. That's not the answer. Are there things that they can still do?
Absolutely. So since I've been on this journey, I met up with a group in Utah called Addict to Athletes, and I recently just took a recovery coach class through them. So now I'm a recovery coach certified. I'm super excited about that. One of their main mottos is called erase and replace. It's taking the things that are destroying your life that you can't get rid of, that seem so hard to get rid of, and literally replacing them with other passions that are positive in life. For me, one of my passions is exercise and nature. I had gained a lot of weight in prison. This was kind of the driving point to me changing my life. I had gained a lot of weight in prison when I was younger. I used to be really, really big, and I dealt with depression. I had tried to take my life with that and other personal tragedies. Um, and so when I gained this weight, my nickname in prison became Bad Bodied Kyndal, and I hated it. I did not like it. And I started working out with the most elite crew there, and then I saw what I was capable of. I had erased the negative things that I had enjoyed doing and replaced it with stuff that drove me to be a better person. It turns out I was passionate about it and loved it. So passionate about it that I came out here and did this. So guys, if you're out there struggling or you don't know what to do, it's not just easy to say, hey, addiction, you're gone.
Right.
But to take one thing and replace it with a positive, healthy one, like doing drugs to working out or going on trails and seeing nature or things like that. There's so many better ways to live your life positively and to still be able to remember it and not have to worry about going to jail or losing relationships with your family and things like that. One thing I learned on this journey is there's a difference between the idea and the want. 2013, I read a newspaper article that made me want to walk across America. I tried to set up a walk to take off January 1st, 2015. thing is, I was still on drugs, still living a crazy lifestyle. I like the idea of wanting to walk across America, just like the idea of liking the idea of wanting to get clean, willing to go to rehab, willing to tell my parents do this or make it look good for here and there, but not willing to actually give up the substance. When you actually want it, you do it.
For sure.
I wanted to walk across America. I had the idea for years. When I actually wanted it, I came out here and did it. Just like I thought about wanting to get clean for years, but it was just an idea because of all the things like restored relationships, jobs, and things like that. But I wasn't ready to give up the substance. And then when I finally didn't want to do it anymore, I didn't want it anymore. And here I am. Super blessed to be where I am, 55 months drug free.
Fantastic. Congratulations. So tell us how your journey began. Did you start off in Florida? And where are you walking to and from? How does that look?
Absolutely. So I started in Jacksonville, Florida with an idea of just walking coast to coast. I started with my feet in the Atlantic Ocean. I've walked 13 states across Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. Put my feet in the Pacific Ocean at 3,292 miles on my 4-year drug-free day, April 12th, 2023. In Long Beach, Washington. Took a little break. Then I came back, realized I was going to walk the West Coast. So I walked up to La Push. I hiked all the beaches at La Push, Washington. Then I went up to Lake Ozette. Then I went all the way to Cape of Lava, which is the most western point of the connecting United States. Then I went up to Nia Bay and Cape Flattery, which is the most northwestern point of the connecting United States. Then I met some bikers that encouraged me. Well, they didn't encourage me. They were doing it, and it inspired me to walk to the 4 different corners, not where the 4 states connect, which I might even walk there. But now that I've been to Cape Flattery, I'm walking down the whole West Coast, and here we are in Newport, Oregon, halfway down. It seems, well, actually, not even close. California is so long. But heading down to San Diego to hit the most southwestern point. Then I will walk across the southern states back to Florida. When I get to the coast, I will go down the coast to Maine, and then I'll walk the East Coast back up to, or down down in Florida down to the Keys, to the most southwest point, and then up the East Coast to Lubec, Maine. And that should put me around 10,000 miles too.
That's incredible. What a journey. What's your message you hope that people take away?
My mission statement on this journey is if I can keep one person from putting a gun to their head and pulling the trigger, putting a needle in their arm, not knowing that they'll never wake up again, then I did my job. Of course, the more lives saved, the better. I know that there's nothing I can do to change anybody's lifestyle or mindsets except share my story and hoping to inspire somebody enough to be willing to change theirs and live a better life, because there is too many people losing their lives daily to drug overdose and suicide. These shirts that I wear on this journey, I'm almost done with the 6th edition, which is just super heartbreaking. Each shirt has 180 names, 90 on the front, 90 on the back, of beautiful souls who are no longer with us due to mental health and recovery issues, drug overdoses, and suicides. The 180 specifically stands for taking a 180-degree turn in the opposite direction from the things that are taking the people that we love and care about. That's a 180-degree turn that I've made in my personal life. Because my name should be on the shirt numerous times, and by the grace and mercy and love of God am I still standing. And I just want to let other people that are struggling know that they don't have to end up as another name on this shirt.
And Nicole, for those locally who may be suffering, how can Phoenix Wellness Center help?
So again, kind of just to piggyback what Kyndal said, you know, we're out here together planting the seed, right? We want to teach individuals that there's a different way of life. There's a different path of life. It doesn't have to be that way. And just like Kyndal, my story is similar to his. I don't come from a broken home. I come from a spoiled, rotten family where all my needs were met. And I chose drugs. I chose that life. I chose that lifestyle, and I stuck with it. And so I think Kyndal and I have the same message. We're out here teaching people that there's a different way of life and there's another path. And if you're local or anywhere, call Phoenix. Our phone number is 541-272-5048. We are also located in Newport, in between McKay's Market and Salon Ethos, at 145 North Coast Highway, Unit B. Please don't hesitate to call, stop by, and I'm also going to give you guys my personal cell phone number. My heart goes out to everybody that's still suffering. I'd like to take a quick moment of silence for my friend Mark Simmons that just lost his life to addiction, if we can. He he wanted this path, guys, and he didn't make it. And just because he didn't make it doesn't mean you can't. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will come. I don't give a damn where you're at.
No
I will
judgment.
come to you. Zero judgment. I'll sit in your camp with you. I'll sit on the street with you. I'll sit in the bushes with you. You can come to me. I'll pick you up in my truck. Whatever you need, please don't hesitate to reach out. It doesn't even have to be addiction related, suicide related. You're just struggling in any sort of way. Please reach out to Phoenix Wellness. Kyndal as well. My cell phone number is 541-243-4895. Much love.
And another thing on that, you should never ever be ashamed of your story. But if you are ashamed and don't want anybody to know who you are or anything like that, as of July 2022, the 988 crisis hotline is available. You can text, you can call it, you can email it, I believe.
Yep.
All different types of ways. 988. Make sure you have that saved in your phone if you are struggling and you don't want to reach out to anybody, or you're not around a place, or you know the resources. There is people that care and will talk to you.
Thank you both so much. Thank you for your stories. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your inspiration.
Thank you. You matter. We do recover.
All right, reporting for Oregon Coast Breaking News, I'm Kira Morgan.
Thank you so much. God bless.